You know, I wasn't planning on making this video. I really didn't want to, honestly, but I know you guys want to see it. So, Resident Evil 9 trailer. What do I think about it? Well, I think you all know what I think about it, but I'll talk about it anyway. Mainly because, you know, I want to pull a few strings. It is, you know, it's nothing more hilarious than pulling the strings of these fanboys. I know it's going to happen. But yeah, there was a bunch of events that happened recently. That shit was terrible. And at the end of one of them, they showed RE9. It was kind of funny because at first they sort of trolled the community, where like they said they weren't gonna show anything, but then they did end up showing something. Oh man, I really wish they didn't though. That would have been so fucking hilarious. Just troll the fuck out of these Resident Evil fans. I bet they were so fucking disappointed. But, you know, they ended up showing something, so, you know, that was kind of pointless, I guess. They were trying to make it all dramatic and shit because they think they're that goddamn important. Dude, no one cares, man. No one cares unless you're a fucking part of the stick bundle community, dude. And do you know what's, honestly, do you know what's really fucking funny about this? Is that all throughout the trailer, there was no reaction at all from the crowd. You know why? Because nobody even knew this was fucking Resident Evil until they started showing like the RPD in that. And then the fanboys in the crowd start going wild, you know, cheering, oh my god, Resident Evil! Yeah, up until that point, they were fucking as silent as a goddamn corpse. That just shows you right there what these fanboys are like. They didn't give a shit up until then, dude. But because it's Resident Evil, they all fucking grab their dicks, start fucking jerking and glazing that shit. Oh my god, we can't wait for this game. It's gonna be a masterpiece. I can't wait for the next remake. Let me get my Capcom butt plug. Oh, I love you, Capcom. If I could only grab the tiny nutsack of Capcom, because they are just the best developer. Man, fuck this game. This game is going to be RE8 2.0. We all fucking know that. There's going to be some first-person garbage, continuing with that formula of RE7 and RE8. RE7 is an absolute abomination to gaming. RE8 is not much better. The only reason it's not as bad is because it actually has a bit more action going on. It's not just a boring walking simulator with some of the most mind-numbingly boring gameplay of any game ever. That is honestly one of the worst games I've ever played in my life. RE8, not much better, honestly. It was a very, very low bar that they had to, you know, rise above with the previous game. It wasn't exactly very hard to top RE7 with how fucking bad that shit was, but, you know, they managed to go from, you know, one of the worst games ever to, you know, just a piece of shit game that was, you know, it's just a shitty game, you know. So, you know, good job on that, Capcom. You managed to go from making a 0 out of 10 to like a 3 out of 10. So, you know, good job on that, man, Capcom. Great developer right here. They are seriously good at their job. You know, keeping Resident Evil alive with these great games right here. I love RE Village, dude. That game was so good with the big old vampire and the big old titties and shit, man. Man, whatever. But yeah, this game's gonna be, it's just gonna be RE8 2.0. It's gonna be first person with like a different setting. Who gives a fuck, dude? This game is gonna be all hyped up just like RE Village. And then what happened with RE Village? You know, it was all hyped up and shit, right? But then after that shit came out, you know, people were playing it, talking about it. It was popular for like a couple of weeks or whatever, and then it fucking died out like the rest of the Resident Evil games. Hey, dude, even fucking RE4 Remake did that. You see how fast RE4 Remake died? That shit was popular for like a week, and then nobody was playing it anymore. You could see it on Twitch. The amount of people streaming that shit and people watching it. Bro, that shit fucking died, man. That shit was hilarious. Oh, man. All the hype surrounding that fucking game, that shit died so goddamn quick. Oh, man. It's really funny, though, because you got the original RE4, which, even to this day, is still so popular. You know, people are playing that, streaming that, watching that shit. But the remake that came out died within a fucking week, dude. That just shows you you know, that nobody should give a fuck about that game. It's gonna be the same with this shit, you know. They're gonna get all hyped up about it, you know. Oh man, I can't wait for this game. You know, grabbing their fucking dicks, glazing this shit, you know, fucking typical fanboy behavior. You know what the hell these losers are like, dude. They'll fucking hype up anything that comes from Capcom. They're a bunch of fucking fanboys, dude. Like I said, they didn't even know it was Resident Evil. That just shows how far they've strayed from Resident Evil at this point. It's fucking ridiculous, dude. That just proves my fucking point, that this is nothing like Resident Evil. The only fucking reason they were goddamn cheering is because of the fucking name, that's it. If this wasn't Resident Evil, nobody would give a shit. And that was proven by that fucking silent ass fucking crowd that was at that, you know, when it was getting shown, right, nobody was fucking making a sound. But as soon as they knew it was Resident Evil, which took them like fucking 5 minutes to realize, then they start fucking going crazy as shit. You know, the full-on fanboy, you know, went in full effect at that point. This community is just fucking pathetic, dude. Seriously pathetic. How low are your fucking standards, man? There are so many games out there, like horror games or whatever. Have you really lowered your standards so much that you're still excited for Resident Evil in 2025? That shit ain't been good for literally 20 years. 20 years, dude. That's 2 decades right there. That's a long ass time. We're not talking like a couple of years. We're talking 20 years. Even Call of Duty managed to stay more relevant than fucking Resident Evil. Call of Duty. That's fucking sad, honestly. When Call of Duty managed to stay more relevant than Resident Evil, you know that shit's fucking trash, you know. Hey, at least it was good until about Black Ops 2, and then it started going to shit. But, man, Resident Evil has been fucking shit for 20 years, dude. That's quite impressive, man. It's honestly quite impressive that they managed to make 20 years worth of shitty fucking games. There's not a single good game that came out after Ori 4. There really isn't. They are absolutely fucking god-awful. Ori 5 is only playable co-op. It's one of the fucking worst Resident Evil games. Ori 6 is one of the worst fucking games I've ever played in my life. Revelations 2 is an absolute abomination. Revelations 1 is so fucking mediocre and just meh. It's like a 4 out of 10. Ori 7, another game that is one of the worst I've ever played in my life. Ori 8, slightly fucking better. What the fuck are they doing, dude? Just let this shit die already. It is an absolute train wreck. It really is. It's honestly fucking embarrassing, dude. All you're making is these garbage first-person games that are boring as fuck with god-awful pacing, just mind-numbingly boring gameplay, and then, you know, some shitty fucking remakes every other year, which are just an absolute fuck. Don't even get me started with the remakes. You all know how I feel about them. Fuck those remakes, fuck whatever remake is coming out next, and fuck Resident Evil. And that's all I have to really say. What else is there to fucking say? All this shit is gonna be is Ori 8 2.0. That's all it's gonna be. It's gonna die out like fucking, you know, a week after it comes out. Nobody will be fucking playing it. And then they'll be glazing for the next remake that gets announced. It's a cycle with these fuckers, man. It's a continuous cycle. It's been like that for like, I don't know, like 7 years at this point. They come out with a shitty first-person game, that shit dies out, then there's a remake that gets announced, that's all hyped up, and then that comes out, that dies out, and then it's another it's the same cycle. It's the same fucking cycle. The only reason this franchise is still alive is because of this fucking retard-ass fanbase. Oh man, there is no words to describe this fucking fanbase. They are just... I honestly have no fucking words. It's hilarious, but fucking sad and pathetic at the same time. But that's all I have to say. Fuck this game, fuck Resident Evil, and fuck the community. Bunch of fucking losers, retards, hyping up a game that they didn't even know was Resident Evil for the first fucking 3/4 of the trailer. That shit was so fucking hilarious. So dance, you puppets, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take care, and sayonara.